According to the human rights group Contrast, there are 55 inmates on Indonesia's death row convicted on drug-related offenses. 20 of those are Indonesian citizens, 35 are foreigners. That includes 7 from Nigeria, the country with the most citizens awaiting execution in Indonesia, and 1 American.
This is Jared Shaw from Dallas, calling for help as he is being arrested in Indonesia, his face blurred by the police taking the video. Police there paraded him in front of the local media, made him climb onto a press conference stage and stand with his back to the audience while they detailed the charges against him. Police say they intercepted a package sent to him by a woman in Thailand. Delta 9 THC candies and gummies worth about $400 that they allege he planned to sell and share with other players. Strictly illegal in Indonesia. Possession alone could mean a minimum sentence of 1 year or as much as life in prison, where even the death penalty can be imposed for large-scale drug trafficking, including marijuana.
Well, I'll be damned. 1 year to a life sentence and the death penalty is even in the conversation? That's a hell of a range.
One of 9 men accused of illegal drug manufacture in Indonesia and facing the death penalty, Frenchman Serge Atlaoui, has had his final appeal rejected by the court in Jakarta.
I have never heard of a crime with that type of range. I heard of 5 to 10 years, 7 to 25 years, but 1 year to a life sentence with the death penalty in question?
10 long years on death row comes to a violent end. Andrew Chan and Mayuran Sukumaran led from their cells, lined up in a field and shot dead by an Indonesian firing squad. Chan and Sukumaran, the leaders of a heroin smuggling ring, were pronounced dead at 2 a.m. Perth time.
Australia deeply regrets these executions in Indonesia.
This man is already taller than everybody in Indonesia, and they made him stand on a stool, making him even more taller than everybody in Indonesia, with his back against the audience. They treated this situation like they captured the Loch Ness Monster.
This is Jared Shaw from Dallas, calling for help as he is being arrested in Indonesia, his face blurred by the police taking the video. The 6'10" Carter High School and then Utah State player went undrafted in 2014.
The arrest footage looked like a bunch of normal-sized human beings trying to take down a titan, a giant. The arrest looked like something out of an anime cartoon.
This is Jared Shaw from Dallas, calling for help as he is being arrested in Indonesia, his face blurred by the police taking the video.
Man, this whack as hell. A year to a life sentence with a death penalty possibility over some damn edibles? All of this over some snacks that put you on your ass in a great way? All this over some treats that make you feel unique? We need to get this man back to America ASAP.
His arrest in Tangerang, Indonesia, just outside Jakarta, paraded him in front of the local media, made him climb onto a press conference stage and stand with his back to the audience.
Look how they doing him. They got him with his back against everybody, the people snapping pictures while they reading the damn charges. Humiliation at its finest. Disgraceful. Man, seeing one of my fellow brothers go through this got me stressing. When I looked up the laws and punishments Indonesia have on drug trafficking, it made me go to the liquor store and get a bottle of Jose Cuervo. I'm drunk as hell making this video right now, and mad as hell. Bruh, when I looked up the drug laws in Indonesia, it had me gasping for air, eyes wide open, mouth dropped.
2 Australians convicted in Indonesia of drug smuggling, along with 1 Nigerian and 4 other drug offenders, have been notified by authorities that they could possibly be executed by firing squad in a matter of days.
This could possibly be this man's fate. Over $400 worth of gummies? Wow. They don't play in Indonesia about them drugs, dog. I did my research, and I don't think Jared Shaw did his research, because if he would have did his research, he would have never played with that type of fire. Bruh, these laws are strict as hell.
It's a grave charge to face. The Indonesians take a dim view of drug smugglers. Lindsay June Sanderford is guilty, said the judge, and I sentence her to death. The courtroom gasped, and Ms. Sanderford seemed stunned by the decision. The prosecution had sought a 15-year sentence, not death by firing squad, but the judge said she damaged Bali's image overseas.
possession charges and distribution charges carry a minimum of 4 years. And how strict Indonesia is on drugs, between that 4-year minimum and that maximum, they about to tap that ass with football numbers in the penitentiary.
3 days before their execution, inmates will be transported to Nusa Kambangan Island off Java in Indonesia. At midnight, each inmate will be shot dead in separate isolated grassy areas by a squad of 12 executioners. The inmates will wear a white shirt and be led to the execution area by a priest or cleric. They will be given 3 minutes to calm themselves.
Now the drug trafficking charges, that's where it gets real. Indonesia is not playing with drug traffickers. Apparently, capital punishment is damn near normalized in Indonesia when it comes to drug trafficking. When you use words like there was a wave of executions in 2015 and 2016, they said that like it was a fashion trend.
Indonesia has harsh punishments for drug crimes. So far, 6 executions have been carried out this year. Families of the inmates have until Tuesday at 2 p.m. to visit them.
Like, bruh, this is real life. They ain't playing no games.
Oh.
Well, the bright side is they ain't had an execution since 2017. I think that's a bright side. Is that a bright side? I don't know. And they say the reason why it hasn't been one since 2017 is possibly because of international criticism. The president said he is open to introducing a moratorium to the death penalty depending on how the public feels about it. But nothing was never made official, so it's a good thing to know that Indonesia is potentially folding when it comes to the death penalty. I'ma need Indonesia to fold like clean towels when it comes to my dog Jared Shaw. When I first seen this, how they had his back against the audience, taking pictures, you know, being extra, I was thinking they was doing all that because of his celebrity status. That man is probably like LeBron James to them Indonesians. But the more I did my research, the more I realized they do everybody like that.
And Ms. Sandiford was about to find this courtroom a very public and pitiless place.
Pada tanggal 4 Desember 2019 pukul.
Police also found over 19,700 pills of ecstasy coming from Malaysia. The drug bust was taking place around Tanjung Balai waters near Asahan Regency, that is also near Malaysia waters, according to a police official on.
Come on now, $400 worth of gummies? They treating this man like he Walter White, El Chapo, Franklin Saint, Big Worm.
What?
$400? That's a quarter pound of platinum bubble. Y'all considering giving my dog the death penalty behind a quarter pound of platinum bubble? Where's my Jose Cuervo? This is ridiculous. The more I do my research, the more drunker I get. I'm drunk as hell right now. Bruh, Indonesia shows absolutely no mercy against nobody. Anybody can get it.
She sought a little privacy under a cream-coloured shawl, but she wouldn't get it. Not here, not on Judgment Day. There was nowhere left to hide, in fact, for this 56-year-old grandmother from Redcar.
Where's my sister?
Lindsay Sandiford was caught on arrival in Bali last May with 10 pounds of cocaine stuffed inside the lining of her suitcase. Lindsay June Sandiford is guilty, said the judge, and I sentence her to death.
She was very shocked. This wasn't predicted. She never thought she'd get the death penalty. The judge hasn't even considered our arguments for leniency.
This housewife from Teesside was caught in possession of drugs worth £1.6 million, and the police described her as a key part of an international smuggling ring.
You told me it was safe.
However, Miss Sandiford said she'd been coerced, forced to work as a drug mule after threats were made against her son. And she led police to a number of other British suspects. Miss Sandiford said the cocaine belonged to this woman, Rachel Dougal. And she said this man, Paul Beales, had sewn it into her suitcase in Bangkok. Yet Miss Dougal and a relieved-looking Mr. Beales have been handed relatively light sentences. One more Briton will be sentenced tomorrow.
A grandmother who claims she was forced into drug smuggling because of death threats made to her kids? The judge did not budge. The judge had his mind made up 2 weeks before she actually got arrested. Had everybody in the courtroom shocked and all. Why didn't Jared Shaw do his research? They got videos for days on the internet about Indonesia getting drug traffickers out of here. They are not playing. This is serious. In America, well, at least in the state of Florida, we have drug charges that can result in death penalty. But the drug charge is circumstantial, and the circumstance is death. Somebody dying from doing the drugs you sold them could potentially put you on death row. But just trafficking drugs, yeah, you about to get locked up for a long ass time, but not the death penalty.
The prisoners will be blindfolded and asked if they wish to stand, sit or kneel. Afterward, a doctor will place a mark over their hearts. The firing squad commander will then yell, "Do it," to the executioner standing within 5 to 10 meter range. Only 3 of the marksmen have live ammunition, the rest will have blanks. If the prisoner is still alive after the initial shots, the commander will then fire a final shot into their head above the ear at point blank range.
If you like doing drugs, why even live in a place like Indonesia, especially if you ain't from there? After seeing all this, you'll never catch me in Indonesia. As much as I love drugs, Indonesia will never see my black ass, but they seen Jared's. Jared went from playing basketball, dunking on opponents 9 feet shorter than him, to possibly facing a death penalty for $400 worth of gummies. The death penalty over a first-time offense for a lower-level drug that grandmas and housewives indulge in? This ain't heroin, this ain't cocaine, this ain't meth. They be selling this in smoke shops and corner stores. He should have just took his Indonesian basketball dollars and started up a smoke shop in Texas. I mean, if he had it like that. How much they paying in the Indonesian basketball league? It can't be much if he was moving like this. Taking a risk like this just tells me your everyday occupation, basketball, ain't raking in the dollars like you thought it would. Man, free Jared Shaw. Please, Indonesia, he ain't know no better. How about let's do a trade like Russia did with Brittany Griner? Who we got to trade? Do we have any major players from Indonesia locked up in America? We need to get this trade popping because this is ridiculous.